Hey everybody, it's Kel again. I'm back with some purple belt thoughts on Jiu-Jitsu tonight. I was awarded my purple belt this summer, July of 2021, and I'm terribly proud and excited to wear that and to be a purple belt now. I was talking to my friend Ian the other night at the gym, and we were kind of going back and forth, and he said, "Hey, you haven't made a video in a while. You should throw something up there." I decided I was gonna voice my ideas of what I've been working on and thinking about lately, because he said it's a great idea for like really treat it like a journal. I was treating it more of like lessons for jujitsu and fellow jujitieros or whatever. But I really wanted to, kind of treat it as almost as like a journal and a growth and kind of what I'm thinking about now. So that's kind of the approach I'm going to take. This summer of 2021 has been a lot of fun, good tan, lots of fun with my girls this summer. Um, and Kind of have an analogy to tie things with what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking a lot about defense. I've been working hard on defense. I started off this spring with the Tap Cancer Out tournament as a blue belt in May, and had a great turnout for my team. We all did really well. Some of the newer white belts learned a lot. It was their first tournament. All my upper belt friends medaled along the way, and so it was a great job by our foundation jiu-jitsu team, and we did a lot to prepare for that. We had some comp classes in the weeks leading up, and really went hard on each other at the couple weeks. And during that time, I was really focused on offense. I had a game plan, and I went in and executed my game plan in the tournament. My game plan was grab lapel, grab a sleeve, pull guard, pull them into my closed guard, and go for some sort of submission, cross collar, um, triangles, arm bars, and that's what I did and have a lot of success with at white belt. And I did pretty well as a blue belt and ended up winning the tournament. So I was really proud about that. Um, but my focus in the springtime really was offense. And after the tournament was over, and leading up to the promotion, which I had no clue about, it was a complete surprise. But leading up to that, I was really focused on defense, and that's what I've been focused on all summer is just defense. I want to become unsubmittable. Now I know that's not a reasonable goal, but I listened to an interview with John Danaher, and I believe it was Lex Friedman. It may have been because I rewatched the one he did with Gracie, uh, from last summer, and but it was an interview with John Danaher, and he talked about how a lot of guys from his Danaher Death Squad, when they were first developing, they started off and they a lot of them came in as blue belts and very little experience, and so he got to really work with them straight up. And he said that they spent a good year and a half early on working on defense. All right. And a lot of us are very hungry, and we want to work on submissions and learning submissions and getting on top, or, pulling guard and really submission hungry, because that's the win, right? That's the W. That's what we want. But he said they spend a lot of time before they really work on submissions at all learning defense. And I thought that was a really interesting approach, because he said that, Gordon Ryan, one of the best grapplers in the world, gets out on the mats when he competes. If he gets into a tough spot, he has the confidence and the knowledge to know how to get out of that tough spot. And I thought that that was really important for anybody who does grappling, anybody who does BJJ, to be able to get out of those spots. But we kind of get seduced into, well, how, we kind of get beat up for a while, but then we start being able to beat up people for a little bit. And the tables get turned in white belt a couple months in, and now all of a sudden we're the guys on top. And oh, now I can work on those arm bars, or I can work on those chokes, or I can take their back. And we kind of measure that success with progress as progress. And so I've been trying to kind of flip the script and work on the defense. A lot of the guys that I've been kind of working, just training with or whatever, we get kind of near the end, and we get done, and I talk about defense. I talk about how I escaped, how I blew past, how I passed the guard, how I got out of the submission. But it really is, I've been focusing a lot on getting out of the submissions. And then from there, that has really put me in a position where I'm passing and moving and getting on top, which is not my style. My style has always been a bottom player, get them into my guard, get back into my guard if they start to pass, retain my guard, all those kind of things. And it's made some an area where I excel, but it's also made that other part of my game not as developed. And so I found that I've had a really good success by fighting out of these bad positions, fighting out of these horrible positions, fighting out of somebody's got an armbar, and you're holding it in, and and locking it in, right? Um, Somebody starts a choke, and from mount, and I'm on the bottom, and they stick a hand in, and being able to escape from that, flip them over, pass, get on top, and now I'm into the dominant position has been so fulfilling. It's been very, very fulfilling. So that's kind of what I've been working on, what I've been thinking about, and it's been pretty empowering, much more empowering than I thought, much more empowering than rolling out the same A game on on people. Um, so it's really helped with my overall development and rounded me out lately, I believe. Um, now, an analogy I have is with my daughters, 6 and 7. The oldest one, Zoe, she's been tremendous this year on gaining confidence in the swimming pool. Now we put her into swim lessons this year to kind of teach her the proper form and everything. Because last summer, she was doggy paddling. She felt confident enough to grab stuff off of the shallow end. She could swim from like one side of the pool to the other in the deep end of the pool. But she didn't have a lot of confidence. If she ran out of power, she was going to be in a pickle. But this summer, she's really gained a lot of confidence, and I noticed it's kind of a self-taught part of the technique. It's not been what she learned in swim classes, how to do a proper backstroke, how to do whatever. She's been learning. She figured out that she can kind of pace herself when she's swimming, and as she's moving around the pool, she's kind of just going this up and down. It's like bobbing. She'll like come up, take a breath, and then kind of go under and swim a little ways, and then come back up, take another breath. But she's very calm. She's very confident because she has no fear now of the pool, of drowning while she's swimming. Whereas before it was doggy paddle, and if I don't get to the other side, daddy's going to have to grab me or I'm in trouble. Now it's very calm, very relaxed. It's kind of, you know, very casual thing. Her form is not beautiful. She's still learning that. She's still learning how to do proper freestyle and to do a breaststroke and do a backstroke. But she knows how to float. She knows how to keep herself from drowning, and there's nowhere in the pool she can dive down to the deep end and pick up the little diving torpedoes and rings and things like that. Her confidence from not drowning is what's made the difference, and because of that, she can now feel safe enough to work on her proper strokes when she takes the time and we work on it, or when she's in swim class. And I think that's terribly important, and I think that that really transfers over to jujitsu. If we are not afraid of drowning, if we're not afraid of getting in some of the worst positions, and we know we can fight our way out, then we will be confident enough to open up our game more. All right. So if we're a bottom player and we get on top and somebody starts to roll us, sometimes I used to just lean in, keep the roll, keep my legs around him. That's fine. We're in guard now. Now you're really in trouble. If that's what you want, now you're really in trouble. All right. But now I feel more confident to lean in, to play more. And if there's something, if they, you know, do some sort of, put me in half guard, sweep me, get on my back, that's fine. I'm going to play that defense. All right. I'm going to defend the arm as it comes over, whichever side, because I know that's what they need to do. And I think that's a really important part of playing defense is knowing what the opponent needs to do. If you can attack with standard attacks, then you can backwards engineer that and know what they have to do. It takes two hands to choke, typically. So if they get one hand in, I'm okay. That's fine. They need that second one. All right, whether they're going for a baseball bat choke, cross collar, whatever kind of choke, they need that second hand typically. All right, now there are, upper level crazy stuff, but they need that second hand, um, and they need to do that in order to be successful. And so I don't panic when that first hand goes in. I'm not panicking before. That first hand goes in, good. I know where that hand is. I know where that spot is. I know which arm they're not allowed to use now. So now I've got two hands against their one hand in their body. All right, and that control, that comfort, that calmness through the whole process will really make a difference in being successful. And so just like my daughter Zoe, just bobbing around the pool, that's what I can do now. And I've been working on it, and I think that everybody should take some time to work on some defense for a little while. All right, if you know some of the basics and you really hone that defensive strategies, you're going to be fine. And when you're fine, it's almost like having a superpower. It's almost like having a submission that nobody can stop. If nobody can stop you, can stop the roll, because you've got that defense, you've got those defensive skills, and let it build. Last night I rolled with my black belt instructor, Professor Jeff, and he's training, getting ready for competitions again, and so I knew as a training partner I had to give him my A game, which was give him my guard, give it hard, and fight, and give him as much as he can handle, so that give him everything, which is pretty much everything, but give him as much as he can handle so that he can then grow and fight back. And when he passed my guard and got him out, I'm throwing everything at him. I'm trying to get him out of mount. He starts to roll. I'm going to defend the chokes. I'm going to defend the arm bars. I'm going to make him work. I'm going to make him go through several progressions of attacks, because I feel like a badass, but I'm not that badass. All right. So I'm going to make him work and help him grow and help him train, because if I can make him go through 2-3 levels of attack, various transitions. He took my back last night, and at first I really fought off the arm, really fought off the choke arm, really had the bottom part. I'm on the correct side. I'm trying to kick out of there. I'm riding my hip to get past his leg. I'm doing everything I can to really work, and I made him progress through that and slide down the choke, and then his arm came out, and I knew he was going to try to go for the bow and arrow. So I immediately kick my legs and move my legs. So then he comes back over. And because he saw that my arm was out, defending and keeping that arm away from the bow and arrow, and I'm kicking my leg and hip away, then he crawls and pulls his leg up over. So I made him go through 3 layers of attacks last night, which was good, because a black belt is going to make him either be sharp or go through maybe more layers of attack. So I'm trying to do my best to help my teammates, and help them along the way, and help them grow, and help them get better at jujitsu. And I'm helping myself grow because if I can go, if I can spend 2 3 minutes in a bad spot and make those players go through those defenses, go through multiple attacks, I think that's fantastic for me. And I think it's fantastic for them because it's going to make them have to really kick it up a notch, and become better and just work a little harder. And we're all working harder, and it doesn't have to be physical. It can be, we can work mentally harder, which is, I think, more important than growing your game. Um, but that's all I have for tonight. And maybe we'll make this a thing. All right. Thanks.